Good morning. I am Kodili-nye. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on the time, your time zone. How are you doing? We are here again. New subscribers, you're welcome to the family. And the returning subscribers, thank you very much. And actually on the move again. It's a glorious winter morning, I would say. It's really cold, but not really. We are marching on. We are marching on. We are marching on. You can see that we are on the move, and we are going places, and we are going to discuss few things. We are going to discuss few things about the water, the importance of water, good water supply in the cities. We are going to use once again Anambra State and Onitsha as a reference point due to the demand of the Nigerian supporters. We will not hesitate to do a vlog on whatever you demanded from us. I am Kodili-nye. Water crisis in Anambra State, Onitsha. Water crisis in Onitsha. Water crisis. How to solve the water crisis in the great city of Onitsha. Onitsha is one of Nigeria's biggest cities, commercially endowed city, and Onitsha is in Anambra State, southeast of Nigeria, West Africa. For those who do not know where Onitsha is, so this Onitsha is a metropolitan city, meaning that is expanded from the Onitsha town into neighboring areas, which is called the Greater Onitsha or Onitsha Metropolitan Area. And it includes Oyi local government, Obaru local government, Idemili North, Onitsha South, and Onitsha North. That's 5 local government. And according to recent reports, it has a population of over 8 million or 10 million at the moment. 10 million according to the recent one. And this city is a great city, densely populated, you can see, and with a lot of business concern, small scale and large scale businesses. But we are going to discuss today about the water crisis in this city. In spite that this city is surrounded by water, Nkisi River, you have the Demili River, you have other arteries of other smaller streams, and you have the River Niger that run through it. But in spite of this, the city has struggled in the provision of water supply. Since inception or the coming of Anambra State as a new state, many of the government has talked about the water supply issue, especially in Onitsha, and they have discussed extensively, some of them saying that they have awarded contract for renovation and recuperation of the water supply to this great city. I could remember during the P2B regime, there was a contract to South African company which did not materialize. And the Sawili Obiano regime was talking on the television of awarding so many contracts about water in Onitsha, which nobody saw anything, no effect, nothing, completely useless. And now again, during the campaign, the present governor, Chukwuma Soludo, talked about getting water into the great city. That when he was growing up, that the tap-borne water or running water was going through the flats and going through the houses in Onitsha. That is sad, if I may use this word, that this is no longer the case. But he promised that he will bring it back again. He will bring the Onitsha waterworks back into existence. And he has said it many times, but we're yet to see not on that. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. So we're yet to see any results on that. That's me. We're yet to see any results on that. So that's the issue we are to discuss today. And it's very, very important for you also to bring, to comment about this, whatever that you feel can be done, you should let us know in the comment section. We want you to participate in this discussion because it's for the overall good of the Onitsha dwellers, Anambra State and Nigeria as a place. Onitsha was, when I was also growing up, I noticed that Onitsha was overwhelmed by water supply. There was a lot of provision for water supply. The government then were meticulous in supplying water. You know, water was one of the essential things the government does, because they know that the whole city can survive without water and food, clean drinking water. So during that time, the government of the day was actually effective in supplying water. And there is nothing like all these boreholes. Those that have those wells and boreholes were only using it as emergency or a backup. But most of the time, there is water supply by the government and people pay. And the government was making a lot of revenue from this water supply. But after 1985, 85 to 90, the issue of ineffective government started creeping in. It started creeping in. I think the rain is coming. It's been raining hard every day, almost every day now. Every day almost cats and dogs. And now again the rain is coming. So the ineffective government started, nonchalant attitude by governments started taking over in Nigeria who doesn't actually care about water supply. And the people, need to survive. And Onitsha dwellers are not different. They started sinking wells and boreholes. And some of these boreholes were not tested. Some of them, the water from it is very polluted with heavy metals, and some of them are not fit for purpose. It's not even fit to use to bath animals. But the people just looking at it and say, oh, it's a clean water, without any necessary test done on it. And the result of it is that so much illnesses started emerging in Onitsha, Anambra State, and Nigeria in general. Waterborne diseases increased. A lot of problems started happening, and the government has no answer because they are part of the problem. They are the major cause of the problem. And at the same time this thing was happening, most of these governors and governments of Nigeria was talking about poor revenue generation, and they are all taking a lot of money from oil and all those things, but neglecting the one also that can create jobs and create healthy living and create employment opportunity. So, and this has created a lot of issues, and still up till now has not been resolved. Onitsha is not that too large in landmass that the provision of water should not be a major issue, because it will not take 1 year to provide water in the whole of Onitsha. Even using in some of the major areas of Onitsha, using boreholes, industrial boreholes to supply temporary water until the rehabilitation of Onitsha works. But nobody knows why it's taking almost 30 years since they've been talking about this Onitsha water wars, that we are doing it, we are doing all this, we are doing all that, but nothing has ever happened. And the people are left in the messy situation, because even if you dug a borehole, you still need a power supply to get it to the tanks and to get it up to the buildings, because Onitsha has a lot of high-rise, multi-layered flats, and it's a peculiar challenge to get the water up and running from all those high-rise buildings or story buildings or whatever. So, and the water, the electricity supply in Nigeria is actually the best in the world. It's not something to write home about. It's completely mess, and it's very, very expensive, and most of the time you don't see the light. So there is no light being supplied to people for even weeks, some places months. So the people has to use the generators, and you know how much the fuel cost in Nigeria is quite expensive, and people cannot afford that. And the people are left with no clean drinking water, no alternative. Some of them buying table water even to use to drink. And you know how much the table water costs. That is not cost effective at all. And many died of poison, polluted waters. And I have had many cases that people died drinking all those table water which they bought in the street corners and all those things, because those water are not really fit for purpose. It's not good for drinking, not talk less of selling it as a table water. And all these boreholes, people have drank it and they have issues. So many cases, there was some people that traveled into Nigeria, and they went to and they bought all those water, and some people lost their life as a result of that. So it's sad that the provision of water has become something difficult for average Nigerian politician, that they can't even they are struggling to do that. Something an individual can easily do, but because of the restrictions cannot easily do that. So Onitsha need water. So I am Kodili-nye. Remember, if you are joining this video now, remember to subscribe. We are discussing about the water crisis in Onitsha, Anambra State. How to solve the problem, the issue at stake, and the challenges over the years, and the government neglect of this great city in terms of water provision, and the new government promise of providing water for Onitsha, which has not even materialized after almost 1 year and 8 months, going to 1 year and 9 months in power. Still Onitsha has no water supply. So we are here to discuss about it, and you can also make a suggestion how this thing can be sorted out. So it's difficult to discuss, because nobody knows why it's been difficult for them to supply water. Some people were saying that some people just want to, make a fast business out of this. But I don't know if that's the case, because provision of water is very essential. It's actually a human rights issue, because water and food goes together. If you cannot provide water to the people, basically you are doing you are actually sentencing them to grave. So meaning that you don't want them to live. Let us just look at this tree, this forest. This tree is standing out here. It's a marvelous tree. Look at it. Can you see anything there? It's wonderful. Look at how the stems went around, and there are other ones, big ones. This is the tree, this is the forest. Wonderful. So this is the forest. Okay, we are back again. We are discussing about the water supply in Onitsha. We are discussing about water supply in Onitsha, the great city of Onitsha. The water crisis in the great city of Onitsha, and how the government has failed so far in the provision of this great commodity. And what can be done to bring back the water supply to Onitsha, Anambra State. First of all, the government has to look at sunken industrial size boreholes in major areas of Onitsha in the short term. Remember, I am Kodili-nye. As you are watching this channel, please subscribe, please. So they need to sunk industrial size boreholes, and these industrial size boreholes will in the short term be able to supply water to their immediate neighborhoods. And this can be done within 6 months, including laying pipelines, and a timeline of 1 year should be achieved if vigorously pursued. And if this thing is done, the water crisis will in the short term be put to an end. So they need to lay pipelines in Onitsha, new pipeline, because the old ones must have expired or dilapidated, and need to be changed. So now, as they are doing this short-term measure that within a year, a target of a year to get the taps running again in Onitsha, they should also start to renovate the great water supply in Onitsha, the Onitsha Works, which used to supply thousands of cubic water to Onitsha area in the past. This is one of the greatest assets the government have. They should try to renovate it and bring it back to life. So for the city dwellers in Onitsha, because Onitsha cannot be great if there is no water supply. You can see many of the time there is fire incidents in Onitsha, but there's no water for even the fire service to operate because there's no water supply in Onitsha. So I do believe it's a win-win situation. The government can also make a lot of revenue from it. Sorry about the noise, we are walking on the streets. The government can make a lot of revenue from this by simply putting it into practice. So billions will be realized as internal generated revenue, and employment opportunities cannot underestimated. So the government should do the needful by making sure that they look at this crisis and solve it once and for all. There's no hanky-panky, there is no need of making too much noise, there's no need of election promises, all those big words and big grammars and all those things. But the time to get back to the basics. Let's give Onitsha water. Let's give Onitsha water. Onitsha must have water. We must stop this water crisis. We must stop this this injustice to the people. The people deserve a good, clean drinking water. They should be given one. So the government of Anambra State, led by Professor Chukwuma Soludo, should take note that the people are crying, that the people are not happy because there is no water. They don't have electricity to even supply their own water. The cost of gasoline in Nigeria cannot even help anybody to get alternative water. There is shortage of funds in Nigeria. There is a lot of problem in Nigeria at the moment. So the government should do the needful by providing the water that is needed urgently. Thank you very much for listening and watching. I am still Kodili-nye. Remember to subscribe, remember to share, remember that we are here to bring critical issue to limelight and bring solution, a workable solution to them. I am still YE, that's me. There. May the good Lord keep you and bless you. Thank you. We are signing off. Bye.